5, 6 locations. Really looking forward to today's live because we are going to be diving down deep into life insurance with living benefits or I should say versus accidental death and dismemberment policies. And before I get diving down too deep, got a new microphone. Checking this out right here. I'm going to go and see if this is actually, you can hear me. Had some issues with this, and this is the wonderful thing about this. Oh my gosh, it worked. It worked. It worked. So that's pretty fun. So what I'm going to do, just to show you how this is done, I'm going to record this video. Actually, not record it. It's going to be streamed live to 5 places. This video is then going to go over to my video editing company who, I got into the position where my videos are now edited for free. So that is pretty exciting. If you would like more information about that, I will put a link down below in the description so you can watch that video on how to get all of your videos professionally edited. So once I do this live, what will happen is that company will edit my video, and then my assistant will go in, download that video, and the individual that I'm working with to summarize the video will go in, timestamp it, we'll put in all the tags, the description, the titles, and everything, and ready to go. And then that video, boom, that we're recording right now will be up on the front page of any search engine in the world. And this is the process that I teach in the Embrace Prosperity Mastermind group. And if you have not figured that out and have not truly started to live the song of your soul that came here to be sung and are singing into the infinite void of creation that is your field of dreams, that is probably a nightmare right now for you, as you're still in the comfort zone, which is really your torture zone. So what I'm going to do is be an example for you to show you how vulnerable you can be on lives, how silly you can talk, and really connect with those individuals who are resonating with your frequency, not your freakishness, which that's actually the niche. When you look at it, you're looking for freaks just like you, right? Because I'm a freak about things like frequency medicine. I'm a freak about financial education. People look at me, they're like, wow, how is it that you geek out on this stuff? And guess what? Your tribe, your community, your soul family is going like, virtual high five. I love what it is that you do. I watch all your videos. I've seen all your content. I sign up for all of your courses and more. When are you going to be speaking on a stage? When are you going to be doing a live next? When is it that I can get in that members only VIP club, right? And we're going to be doing that all right here. So while all this was getting ramped up, and I wanted to give you kind of a prelude, is that what it is? Yeah, prelude to what is going on. I'm going to get my hair just a little bit more, See, this word doesn't literally matter because people are they're themselves when they get on live. They're themselves, and that's what people, right? They want to like you, they want to know you, and they want to trust you, right? That's how sales are made. And if you're not you, then who are they really buying from, right? Because that'll come back and get you. So here we go. We're going to start recording, or going to start this video. And what'll be fun is then you will get to see the result of it edited here in the next week or so. So we'll be kind of following up, and below, if you want to follow this path to see, because this is the raw stuff, right? This is the basic stuff. I mean, this is a new microphone, never used it before. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, I'll just take off this little fuzz right there, because nobody notices that. I can see it. So maybe let's move this around. I mean, this is the first time. What do you think about the mic position? Is it distracting? Is it helpful? Is it hurtful? Let's see, because we're gonna do that, and now we're gonna go. So 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Hello. Hello. My name is Trevor Mickelson, and I'm here to help you embrace prosperity. And today we're going to be having a conversation about life insurance with living benefits versus accidental death and dismemberment policies. Why are we talking about an accidental death and dismemberment policy and life insurance with living benefits? And no, I'm not talking about whole life cash value living benefits, which you could get living benefits with any policy these days, whole life, variable. Why would you ever want a variable universal life insurance policy that's like toxic ooze? Oops, because somebody is more concerned about commission than your future. So potentially, you can get you can get life insurance with living benefits. You can have that on a permanent policy. Today, though, we're not talking about permanent policies. We're not talking about universal. We're not talking about index. We're not talking about whole life policies. We're talking about term insurance. So this is Dave Ramsey approved life insurance. This is the Susie Orman life insurance, right? That's what we're going to be speaking about today versus the accidental death and dismemberment policy. So the reason why we're speaking about this today is because I've been in a recent conversation with a family who had a very tragic scenario that we won't get into, and it was not covered by the accidental death and dismemberment policy. Why? Because it wasn't an accidental death. And that is something that a lot of individuals don't realize, that if it's from a sickness or an illness, something like that, that an individual passes away from, that accidental death and dismemberment policy will not pay out. Really what they are is they are a supplemental policy held together with a death policy that has a very limited scope on how you have to go. So if it's an accident, so you fall off your roof, well, lucky you. You get hit by a bus, lucky you. How do most people that you know go? How do they off the planet? The friends and family that I look at, wow, all kind of sickness, all kind of illness. I mean, you go through GoFundMe and it's nothing but cancer, heart attack, stroke, all that stuff, right? And rightfully so, people would really value and benefit from a supplemental policy. In fact, that's when I first started in 2009, really, when I started ramping up. I sold health, life insurance, long-term care, disability, Medicare, and supplemental policies. So in the event that there was a stroke or a heart attack or cancer or something like that, people would get $50,000 or $75,000, because amazingly enough, most people have $1,000 to $2,000 in their checking account. Their credit cards are racked up. They've got $30,000 to $130,000 in debt, and that's not even including their mortgage, student loans. And wow, people are really messed up, which is one of the reasons why I love financial education, because by providing a little bit of financial education, which, by the way, if you go to Tortoise and Hare membership, I'll show that to you now. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. Well, the great thing about this is we can simply edit that part out, which is what we're going to do, right? Because this is going to be edited. So sweet. So when you when you go to, whoops, let's move this over here. This is what's fun about the live. They're so chill. Don't have to be all hypey, right? So when you go to Tortoise and Hare membership, this is my free, no cost financial education for all course. I literally will teach you how to get out of your mortgage in 5 to 7 years, increase your credit score by 100 to 200 points, put hundreds of thousands of dollars under your mattress or in an index account. And I used to charge tons of money, and now it's at no cost. So what's great about this and financial education is that you start learning the difference between your foundation and what is going to be of value to you and what might not be serving you well. Because there's definitely a place for accidental death and dismemberment policies, and that are those who are high risk and also who are unable to get a traditional life insurance policy. Now, accidental death and dismemberment policies are generally more geared towards individuals who are using their hands. They're high-risk individuals from a perspective of, gosh, on the job, I literally cut my hand off or my fingers or whatever. But looking at these policies, they're generally $1,000 payout, $500 payout. It's only in the event that you get diagnosed with one of the big boys like cancer, heart attack, stroke that they pay out to the full amount. Everything else is almost chump change that would barely even pay a deductible on a health insurance, on your health insurance. So what's interesting about accidental death and dismemberment policies, and the one I'm looking at, it's a $75,000 benefit, and it has all these categories. I mean, it's broken down if you cut off your pinky on your toe, right? Or you lose an eye or a limb or something like that. They're very thorough, which is a great thing about them. Though, when you really start looking at them for what it is that you're investing on a monthly basis, what you would get out of that in the event that you just put that money in a savings account and didn't touch it for a year or 2 years, that's going to really span that huge gap of, of potentials that it's going to pay out for, the triggers, if you will. So this family, as an example, they were contributing $173 per month, and that's for like two or one person, two different policies. So they're putting in over $2,000 a year. What's interesting is those payouts, the majority of them are less than $2,000 total. So that's one of the things of looking at these policies. It's like, wow, am I going to get the return on that contribution? And chances are, unless it's a really big event, then the answer might be no. Because if in the event that there was a heart attack, cancer, or stroke like that, and it didn't happen within the next 35 years, then it's not really a benefit. But chances are that with this individual being the age that they are, something is bound to happen. And when it comes down to illnesses, that's the major thing that people require money for. Yes, accidents absolutely happen. Yes, it's a good thing to get covered. Yes, you'd be happy that you had this policy in the event that on day one you lost an eye or something like that, then you get $5,000. But after that, it's really not going to be much of a benefit. If in the event that I was looking at a policy, I'd look more towards something like an AFLAC, an indemnity policy that is going to be more affordable. I don't want to say the company that we went through, but if you are looking at your accidental death and dismemberment policy, you might want to check that and go, oh, okay, maybe it's time to get a review on that. Maybe check with Trevor to actually see what it is that I have. So what they found out and what I'll be presenting to them is instead looking at a life insurance with living benefits. Now, a lot of people are still not in the know of what living benefits are, and they are riders. They are called accelerated death benefit riders. And the companies that I work with to set up these foundations for life insurance, they come at no cost. So I look at a company from a farm or a state or something like that. And what happens is these companies have traditional death only policies where you have to die for somebody else to get money. And that's what 99% of the policies out there are for life insurance, is they're death only. They might give you access to 25% up to $250,000 in the situation that you're terminal, or give you up to 25% up to $250,000 if you're chronically ill. But that's really about it. That's where the living benefits max out. And the companies that I work with, in the event that there's a major accident, major illness, chronic illness, or terminal illness, you can get access anywhere from 75%, not 75,000, up to 75%, or even up to 90% of the death benefit. Oh, cue awesome music, cue, this is where the editing process comes in, where it's like, boo, we start dancing, right? There's going to be something from the coming up, right, from the top, maybe some, yep, that's right, some music, awesome. Oh yeah, dance party, right? And this will all be edited into it, right? Now, the thing is most people have no idea what life insurance with living benefits is, or that it exists, or is it real, or is it a scam, or whatever that might be. And what's amazing about life insurance with living benefits is it has existed for a very long time. And in fact, one of the companies that we work with, they invented living benefits back in 1936. So it's been around for a little while. And they're in the top 10 life insurance companies in the country. Been around, yeah, for 170 years. So they kind of know what they're doing, A+ rated company. And what's amazing is you could be sitting right now on a $500,000 death only insurance policy, and you got to go before somebody else gets paid. Excuse me. Now, what is interesting about that is only 1% to 2% of life insurance policies ever pay out because that person doesn't die with a policy in place. They get sick or injured, or they come down with a chronic illness or terminal, something like that. And then they run out of money because they're not working, and they have to cut costs here and there, and life insurance has to go. So that's why life insurance only pays out 1% to 2% of the time. And that's why the life insurance industry has so much money. They can buy and sell the oil industry 11 times over. It's pretty robust. So when it comes to what's happening right now, there are there's almost 900 life insurance companies in the United States. And what's interesting is only a handful, and I'm talking like maybe 5 companies, have true life insurance with living benefits that will give you a significant access to your death benefit. Now, notice I'm not saying cash value, I'm talking death benefit. So, as an example, my wife, when she was 26, she got diagnosed with a neuromuscular degenerative autoimmune disease and also had a back injury. So, she was in a wheelchair for many, many months. And I did things like helped her dress, feed her, transport her around, and do activities of daily living, bathe her, dress her, feed her, stuff like that. Oops. She was 26, I was 28. And this is why I'm so passionate and a freak about this stuff, is because it is real and it happens. And I know what it's like to lose everything. And this is something that we can provide a little bit of education, really help you out, people in your community, people in your network. Not only can you have that peace of mind that in the event that something does happen, that you could get tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars coming to you, that you could be in a place where you're not going to die a financial death and be able to go get the treatment. Like for us, we would have got up to $7,500 a month for up to 50 months. And instead of, moving in with my in-laws and almost getting a divorce every single night or week and having a lot of fights and a lot of trauma created, we would have traveled the world looking for a cure. That didn't happen. Didn't know about living benefits then. And so you'll be hearing it a lot more because I'm really leaning into really servicing and helping as many people as I can. Now, that's the thing about life insurance with living benefits, is that if you are able to qualify for it, you would be in a highly more preferable situation from a standpoint of receiving the monies when the event happens. Because statistically, you're more likely to have a living benefits claim than you are to have one of those accidental death and dismemberment claims happen. So as a breakdown, the policy, and I'll just verify so that I'm making sure that all my T's and I's and whatnot are crossed. But the policy that I was looking at was about a $700,000 policy. Or I'm sorry, a $75,000 policy. Oops, I'm used to dealing with a lot bigger numbers than this. So when I looked at this $75,000, I was like, oh, whoa, no. Because one of them is a supplemental policy. And I'm looking here at like, gosh, $50,000 total. Oh man, 1,000, 2,000, 15,000, right? Not big numbers. And I'm looking at here on the accidental death and dismemberment policy for sure. Yep, it is a grand total. Okay. All right. So $225,000 is the max that it'll pay. And really what these individuals could have accessed and had for half of the amount of money is they could have the exact same thing, but instead of maxing out at $75,000 here or $50,000 here or $25,000 here, because it's the main the biggest one, the biggest payout is if they're let me see here, critical, yep, 100%. So 75, I spoke incorrectly. $75,000 is the total benefit. So that's, and they're paying $173 per month to basically have an indemnity policy and an accidental death and dismemberment policy. That the payouts are only going to be up to about $75,000, and that is it. Cumulatively, in the event that it got really bad, where they had this and that, and this and that, the max is $225,000. The total face amount in the amount of death is $75,000. So really, there's about $150,000 total that, in the event that they went in a bus or on a job or something, was major. But what's amazing is for less than half, and I mean more like a third, more like a third per month, they're able to get a few $100,000 in coverage. And in the event that there is a major medical accident, illness, terminal diagnosis, or chronic event, they could have access to tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that would be on a 30-year coverage area. So we're talking term insurance here, so super duper affordable. And these individuals, one is 40, the other's in their early 30s. So it's, it's an average person. They're not nothing special. They're just like you and me, have a family, have kids, working their job day to day, and have the normal stresses of life. Didn't have really time to look into their policy. And I'm not going to make any assumptions of how long the individual had been in there, but most life insurance agents are specifically focused on hustling and getting the deal. That's what I was taught, and it took quite a long time to get out of that hustle mentality and to be in a place where I get to service my clients, help educate them, which, by the way, if you would like some serious financial education, the time is now to change your life, because something as simple as knowing the difference between a life insurance with living benefits policy and an accidental death and dismemberment policy could be the difference of you living in your home or not moving forward. And that's the real. And I'm done really speaking this fluffy, like, oh, it's time to get a policy. Hey, I'm really, what it is after a while, it gets kind of frustrating to connect with the amount of people that I do who I know personally that don't have a living benefits policy, who never heard about it. And that's my dad. So what I'm doing is to re-update this landing page and website, Life Insurance Reinvented. If you'd like to get more information on this is going to be a really great opportunity for you to get more information on life insurance with living benefits, because medical hardships and the bills that follow are the #1 cause of bankruptcies, foreclosures, and small business failures. And if you never heard about it, this is a real. This is what is going to set the foundation of your financial household so you can finally build what, Trevor? Build wealth. Not only a little wealth, I'm talking multiple rivers of aligned passive profit. How do I know that I can help you do that? Simple. When you go into this financial education course for all, there's going to be a 10-module course on everything finance. Then I'll jump into the Soul Client Attraction System, where I will teach you how to get all of your content on the first page of any search engine in the world. Oh, look at that, Plenum. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go to tortoiseandhairtools.com, and I will show you this video. It's kind of fun. Right. This is literally the word ClickFunnels, and here's my video right there within seconds. So here we are, financial education career. There I am. What do I have here? YouTube. That's a fun keyword. Here it is, YouTube. There's my video. And what's interesting about this is that when you have the opportunity to learn what is in your soul and what you want to get out into the world, connecting with your soul clients is actually a very, very simple process. Like you, if you're still watching this, you're probably a little unique and like me, and might be curious about life insurance with living benefits. You might be curious about passive income. You might be curious about Healy and electroceuticals and frequency medicine, whatever that might be. So for yourself, if you have any questions on life insurance with living benefits, accidental death and dismemberment policy, passive income, tax-free index accounts, getting the gains of the market without experiencing any of the losses, while having liquidity within your funds to be able to leverage the good times and avoid the bad, so that your money is not stuck in IRS jail to 59 and a half. Otherwise, there's taxes, penalties, and fees. No, thank you. It is a non-visible asset. So if you have some kids that want to go to college and maybe not want to do the 529, put your money at risk. Oops, my wife used to have a 529. And then when she went to college in 2001, she didn't have a 529. She had a 250. Ba-doom, right? Oh, too soon? Yeah, it's only been, what, 20 years since then? So a lot of people are still thinking about 2001, 2008, where they didn't have a 401k. They had a 201k, right? And that scenario literally could happen at any day. The volatility of the market never changes. I'm looking at statements. Individuals, clients that I have are paying 20 and 30%, which is really phenomenal, and avoiding all the downside risk and creating things that are kind of like private pensions. They're not private pensions, but they have guaranteed lifetime income. And so those are the things that I really love talking about, is not only teaching about financial education from how to budget like a badass and find money and increase your credit score and cash flow strategies. It also comes with having more time and spending less time working so that you can have more income, more profit, and be able to be in a place where you get to sing the song of your soul that came here to be sung into the infinite void of nothingness, that you go searching for the information that doesn't exist anywhere except your heart. And then once you get it out there, then you have a swarm of people that can't get enough of what it is that you do and want everything it is that you have. And you have so much money that you don't know what to do with it because you can't stick it in the traditional routes because you hit the contribution limits and you're making too much money. So now you're hitting up against the income limits. So you're wondering to yourself, I wonder what wealthy people do. Nope, you never had that thought. Why? Because nobody ever put it into your plane of consciousness. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is planting a seed for you to wake up one day and go, wow, that Trevor guy, maybe he can help. So with that, whatever it might be, if you're running into a place where you would like to think about alternate strategies for wealth accumulation, passive income, being with your family more, being with yourself more, shoot, I'm going to check out in 3 minutes and I'm taking a nap. That's what my day looks like. So I appreciate you watching this. If you do have any questions, comment down below. Do me a favor, like this video, give it a comment down below wherever you found it. And if you do have any questions, feel free to send me a personal message, track me down on social media, and let's have a conversation. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and head on over to tortoiseandharemembership.com, or go to, and let's just bring up all of these, why not? Because that's how we're rolling. So if you have any questions, you want to dive down into financial education, go to Tortoise and Hare Membership. Feel free to take a tour of the course. And if you would like some more information on life insurance with living benefits, head on over to lifeinsurancereinvented.com. And if you like some more information about how to get all of your content like this, watch in seconds, and we're testing it out with a live video, it'll go to the first page, trust me, on that one. And it's not even optimized for a line, because YouTube, it's like a library where all the videos are on the ground and all the librarians are drunk until you come in and command your space through their Dewey Decimal System. And yeah, it's a pretty simple system. So with that, appreciate you watching this. This is Trevor Mickelson. I'm here to help you embrace prosperity. And with that, we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.